as human beings, we have certain physical, physiological, and psychological needs. And of course, I don't think that really comes as a surprise to anyone. But the very fact that we need to eat in a certain way, we need to move to a certain degree, to a certain intensity, that we need a certain amount of social interaction, that we need that social interaction to be in a certain way, and so on. That plays an important part in our lives. Because the very truth of that means that if we don't do that, we will suffer. We will feel bad, we will start to get sick more, we will not function properly, our relationships with friends, with colleagues, with fellow students, whatever, will start to deteriorate. And so on and so forth. And as we, most of us at least, don't want this, it becomes highly important for us to try to understand exactly what kind of needs we have so that we can satisfy them in an appropriate manner. And here comes the problem, because we are not really born with this information, are we? And even though it is true that we gain quite a bit of this type of information over time, we learn what happens if we don't eat properly, if we don't sleep properly, and so on, right? If we neglect our friends, now we don't have friends, now we feel lonely, now we feel sad, and so on. So to a certain extent, we do learn this, much enough to function over decades. But there is also a lot of understanding, a lot of knowledge about these things that we don't get. The amount of sedentariness that we accept, how we can avoid certain things in favor of things that makes us feel good in the moment, and so on, shows that we don't properly have the understanding of what we need. And especially as so many different people, we are not that different as human beings, even though it is true that different people have different needs. We're not that different. Our needs are not that different. And so to see how different people think that, like, I need this, someone says, and another person says that they need something completely different. Like, it doesn't really add up. So that also shows a great lack of understanding of what we need from the general population, me included here. And this emphasizes the need to learn, right? You only learn that you were wrong if you challenge yourself, if you challenge your belief, if you try to understand. But to be able to understand, to be able to take in new information in a better way, we have to exercise our minds, right? The mind is very much like the body in this respect, that if you don't exercise it much enough over time, you will not have the same capacity, right? You will not be as strong, let's say, both in terms of intelligence and understanding, as well as in terms of physical ability. So to be able then to live well, to be able to have a healthy amount And just in order to be generally healthy, we need to exercise our minds, maybe more than we sometimes want to, in order to be able to properly reach for the information that will help us feel both physically and psychologically well. It all, I suppose, comes back to that Greek proverb, a sound mind in a sound body.